What's going on? This is Serious Jest, and we are in round one of the second season of the official Cabal Vision PS4 Blood Bowl 2 Championship Cup. It's the Champion Cup, and the two teams that we're going to see face off today are the Baltimore Blood versus X1. This is a Nurgle team going up against the Skaven team. All right, here's the lowdown deal on this. This match happened earlier this morning. I was asleep. This was morning during European hours. All right, so I did not catch this. Nobody twitched it. So somebody told me it happened. I don't know who won. I had my beautiful fiance loaded up for me on Cabal Vision, so the score wasn't spoiled for me. So I'm gonna watch this in replay format. What's gonna happen is there's gonna be no delay as the coaches map out their strategies and think about their moves. You're just going to see the moves happen pretty rapid fire, which means I'm going to be able to do rapid fire type commentary. This match should fly by. So if you don't know who won, just treat it like it's live, because for my purposes, it is. All right, so let's see. As the coin gets flipped here, the Goblin Ref shows... Well, it doesn't know. I don't know who won the toss or who selected, but it looks like the Skaven team is going to play defense first. That's X1. They set up in that defense, and there you see the Nurgle team waiting to make their moves as soon as the Skaven team is done setting up. So this match was covered in the preview. If you remember, this is one of those that people were saying could really go two separate ways. I want to say that Bernie Buffon said in the preview for the playoffs that he thought I think he was the only coach that said he's picking the Skaven team to win this one. The Nurgle team, a lot more developed, very, very, obviously more bashy. So if they could inflict enough injuries on the Skaven team, it could be lights out for the Skaven team pretty quickly. Skaven team, however, has a true one-turner. The Movement 10 Gutter Runner. And look at that. The fans are going crazy here for the Baltimore Blood. It is their home stadium, and you're going to see the extra training really shine through for them during the match. So we're off. Denny hitting number 5 for no damage, just knocking him back. Number 8 gets cracked to the ground by Jan. And Milloy is going to, the Beast of Nurgle, Milloy is going to injure number 9. Number 9 is going to be out for the rest of the match. I don't know how brutal the injury was, but who cares, because that's all we'll be seeing for number 9 for now. Not really too much of an important player anyway. It's just a Lion Rat. Lion Rats are there to take punishment and die, get stamped out. There goes Storm and Norman, the Rat Ogre, knocked to the ground by Helga, and the pickup easily made by the Nurgle Pestigore Jans. And he's going to come back and get a little coverage from Jenny, since those Skaven, as you know, can cover a lot of ground. And then Patrick's going to flow back too. So turn 1 for the Nurgle. Already did some damage, took a rat off the pitch. And again, if you're watching this, and you're on my friends list or whatever. It's actually, let's put it this way: if you're watching this and you are a season 1 Cup alumni or a current season 2 coach, I left my party open in PS4, so please jump on here and help me co-announce if you watch this, and if you're watching this and you find this interesting. It doesn't matter if you already know who won. That's cool. Just don't tell me who won. Might be cool to have the dynamic of somebody who knows who won. Kind of keeping it a secret and watching me marvel in my amazement. The Rats getting in early. The Gutter Runners making some dodges, and oh yeah, we got a star player on the field. That's Hackflam Scuttlespix. The star player jumps in there, and he's got tail. The extra arm, the extra dodging ability can be a very, very influential player. The guy on the obviously we've been talking about the bats that the Nurgle can inflict, but there is a Storm Vermin running around here somewhere who is especially dangerous, and there he is. That's him right there, Netkit. If he can manage to knock out enough of these Nurgle players to make a difference, he could change the game. In the meantime, though, the Nurgle retaliate. Pestigore knocking down one of those gutter runners who is a Nerves of Steel guy from Maj Discharge. That's disgusting. And, yeah, it's funny because the Nurgle team is supposed to be the stank, nasty, disgusting team, and yet I am completely more disgusted by the naming convention as it pertains to the rats. Yuck. Boom. Nurgle laying down the hits, but now the rats retaliate. Here goes their turn 2. And here comes that store vermin we talk about. Netkit coming to make his mark on one of these on one of these Pestigores, and unable to fell Jenny, just gets in her face and starts talking some smack. And around comes the Soggy Biscuit, who is the sidestepping, fending, blodger gutter runner. And once that gutter runner has its little... once it infests you, basically, it's really hard to get off. And then you're going to add to the mix that star player with the tail. It's going to get real tough. Storm and Norman goes down. The Beast of Nurgle really working him over. That's Miley. And here comes the boom with the nasty backhand. Helg knocks down number 8, who is stunned. And his teammate... is that Uli? I guess. Is going to follow up. No real damage, so who cares? Denny is going to stun number 5. And here comes some Pestigore action on the blitz. Knocks down that tail. And it looks like the Nurgle are going to be cool with not moving the ball carrier. Just going to knock back Soggy Biscuit. Teach him a lesson for getting up in grown man's business. And some more Pestigore blocking. Knicker Sniffer, yuck, gets knocked back. And here comes the foul. The Rotters just can't resist giving it to the star player, Hackflim Sputtle Spike. And that's a big foul because that stuns Sputtle Spike. And there is no one that gets a free shot at the ball carrier as of now. Although, if the Skaven want to press the issue, they can get that shot. The ball carrier, there is a hole in the cage on the right side, and there is an open hit. It'll be a 2-die block, but we'll see. And for now, Stump Humper is content to just be a nuisance to the ball carrier, and we'll see how the Nurgle respond. We'll start with a kick to number 10 by Ulf, and here comes Jan again, pushing Soggy Biscuit back with a blitz and telling him, get off me, young blood. Get off me, young blood. And he's going to get followed up by his little train of Nurgle friends. There goes the Rotter. And it does not even look like the Nurgle are caging. They are cool to just give, make these Skaven roll dice, even if it means a shot on their ball carrier. But, I mean, that Pestigore is sitting out in the open, so it is very possible with the speed of the Skaven for them to get a 2-die block on the ball carrier if they really want to push this. Ooh, and the Rat Ogre Storm and Orman decides not to get up, so there's the mark. And are we going to see... All right, so yeah, they don't bring around Soggy Biscuit. Instead, the star player gets up. It's Hackflim Sputtlespike gets up, and he is unable to knock down the ball carrier, but he does annoy him and pushes him back. Man, that had to be a scare if you're the Nurgle team. And just for extra added effect, Jenny is going to get knocked out by the other Storm Vermin that doesn't get a lot of... no, actually, was that Netkit? Yeah, the other Storm Vermin is out of the game, so I think that was Netkit that laid Jenny out. And boom, the thrower gets up in the mix, and we're going to see another KO. Rotter coming off the pitch, that's Jutta, he gets knocked out. We're in turn 5. How will the Baltimore Blood respond? And it's good. What a kick. Soggy Biscuit is knocked out. That was nasty. And Netkit, that Storm Vermin we've been talking about, is stunned, so he won't be taking anybody out this turn. And things are starting to look grim for those Skaven that try to get up in the Nurgle face. Now it looks like the Nurgle kind of want to cage up. Or is that they're just going to foul, and they just do. They foul the Storm Vermin. Netkid is knocked out, and there's the threat. There's the biggest attrition threat gone for the Skaven. Off the pitch, at least for the moment. He's knocked out. The star player is knocked down, and another hit on Jedi. Or no, I'm sorry, that's Knicker Sniffler. So, again, they're going to... There is a red die block available on the ball carrier if the Skaven want to take it, but I don't think they do. A nice dodge out by Hackflim, Scuttle Spike, who dodges back, and it looks like the Skaven are going to try to go for more of a conservative column, not even column, they're starting to run out of the personnel to do it, but a more conservative, straight-up traditional defense rather than an aggressive, mark-everybody-up defense. Probably because there's only 3 turns left for the Nurgle to score. So they're going to just try to slow them down at this point. Pretty sound strategy from the Rast. They harassed. Oh, and Hackflim, Scuttle Spike, that star player we talked about, is knocked out of the game. He is injured by the very, very dangerous Nurgle warrior, Helga. Ooh, a fat lady has sung. At least for Scuttle Spike. Well, to his credit, Scuttle Spike definitely did get his hands dirty. Got up in people's faces, created a problem, harassed the Nurgle. The question is, did they harass and delay the Nurgle long enough so that they are unable to get into that end zone movement-wise? And it looks like that's what the Rats are going to try to do by any means necessary, is just stop the advancement of the cage and not allow that ball carrier to get downfield enough to get up in that end zone. Again, not enough players for the Skaven left on the pitch to get a good traditional column defense, but this might do it. I mean, they just might cause enough of a problem where they force the Pestigore to take the chance. There goes another line rat. Number 5 is injured. And you're going to see the... Pestigore break up the wide zone. Almost trips up. That's a strength 4 Pestigore, by the way. That's Monique. She don't play. And she's going to set up a little side cage going on over there. So Jans is going to roll up, get behind Monique, and they're going to basically dare the Rats to get over there. So the Rotter making his way, and they've got the side cage established. Are we going to see some desperate gutter runner action to break up into the side cage? And Storm and Norman again stunned. He's just been getting owned by Miley. Miley has been pushing him around, and it's getting ugly. And wow, now it looks like somebody put Skaven in the corner. Baby is in the corner right now, and are we going? All right, so we're going to see the first gutter runner gets in place over there. Knicker Sniffer unable to make the dodge at first, the tackle factoring in, but the extra training that Knickers did this week with the dodging is going to come into effect. And if they can get the, is that the sidestepper? That is the sidestepper. If Fromage Discharge can survive the Nurgle onslaught that's about to come his way, he can mark up the ball carrier, and that's it. And the Skaven does. He manages to withstand that. So he's going to force this ball carrier to do his own dirty work. And Jan says, okay, you don't want to knock that little punk down? I'll do it myself. Get down, little one. Fromage Discharge is stunned and is seeing stars. Well, we're seeing a star be born here in the playoffs. Jans, the Nurgle ball carrier, scores, making it 1-0 to close out the Nurgle's turns in the first half, barring some kind of prolongation of the first half due to unforeseen events. So, we're going to line up, and here's the thing, right? We did talk about this. in the preview for the playoffs, and we did talk about this. I talked about this at the start of this match. The Nurgle have done all they could to take up as much time as they could, rolling downfield over here, trundling downfield to score that touchdown and not leave the Skaven much opportunity to score. They've only got one turn to do it, but here's what the Skaven does have. The Skaven, and let's switch over to the offensive view, the Skaven over here have a one-turner. And this guy, Moist, yuck on the name, is going to have the movement. He doesn't have to be chain pushed or anything. With the sprint, he's got short feet, and he's got dodge. So he can pick. He's going to have to make 3 dodges, but he is going to get rerolls on at least one of them. All right, we're in a dome. So there's the wind that would have been a factor doesn't come into a factor. The Nurgle got cute with the kickoff, and the hardest part, that could be dastardly. Double skulls. They decide to block first. And I know they want to take players off the pitch, but you need those rerolls. So that could be costly because that reroll could have helped to supplement the dodges that the Skaven have to make. So this is really risky at this point because a failed dodge here will kill pretty much any chances that a failed block here will kill any chances that the one-turner right here, Moist, has of making the touchdown. And again, the hardest part would have been getting him the ball given the disturbing presence, but that's off the table now. And again, the dodge fails. Yikes. So X1 unable to get it done through Moist. And we're going to go into the second half with X1 down to the Baltimore Blood by 1 score. And we're going to see one of the Pestigors get up. And this team, the Nurgle team, has a good bench. So even with the 2 players that were out, they still had enough for a full team. So there's 3 missing now for the Skaven, and there's only 1 off the pitch for the Nurgle, and it's just a rotter, I believe. No, yeah, it's just a rotter, but it is a Blodge rotter. And Nurgle team's looking healthy, and attrition's not looking good for the Rats. I'll be interested to see is the game plan for the Skaven going to be to just get the 1 turn in and then see what you can see if you can dislodge the ball on defense, or are they going to bide their time and try to drag the clock out and score at an opportunity after which the Nurgle there won't be enough time for them to get downfield. We'll see. So, excuse me, the first gutter runner making this play, getting downfield. That's Soggy Biscuit. You're going to see Fromage discharge. Run over by Soggy Biscuit, then decide I don't need to go that far. I'm a gutter runner. All I got to do is get somewhat within range. The problem here, and this is where a touchback really solved it for the Skaven. A real blown opportunity earlier was that getting this gutter runner the ball is going to be difficult with all of this disturbing presence. There's at least let's see, is the Beast of Nurgle close enough where that makes a difference? I'm not sure if he's in the range right there. He might be just out of the range of that. But what the Nurgle are doing is they're surrounding this gutter runner. So a failed pickup, by the way, by the thrower is a big deal. Allows the Nurgle to get their disturbing presence or pieces to where they want to go to stop this ball from being transferred anywhere. Now, the advantage of playing a Skaven team in a way is that you don't really need to pass. You have the speed to just have a sick running game, and if you can just put enough roadblocks in the way of this slow team, you might be able to get yourself out of their range. And speaking of range, Patrick looks like he tries to overshoot his stride, but the extra wind sprints he did this week allow him to cover extra ground and fell that 1-turner. And Beast of Nurgle, Miley doing her thing. And yeah, that's about right there. The movement 10 gutter runner, Moist, is going to get the hell out of Dodge. And we're going to see the two-die block, who Ploop goes over to and to lend assistance, and yikes! A nasty overhand hit from number 8. Helga is going to be stunned, and the ball is picked up this time by Sploosh, who attempts a pass. It was just, that was an unlikely catch as well. It was to a zone and disturbing in the presence of disturbing presence zones. It would have been a 6+ catch. And now the Nurgle are just going to take full advantage of this. Yeah, they didn't need to make that throw, and I'm wondering why. I mean, was it a quick click to not actually realize that your percentage chances are low? That might be and Soggy Biscuit injured, and the Apple was going to come in and cure whatever injury that was. It happened so fast, and the Apple acted so quickly, I don't even know what the injury was. But the Skaven have lost the ball. The Nurgle have picked it up, and this is looking really bad for the Skaven team. And will they be helped out? Well, it looked like they'd be helped out a little bit by Double Skulls, but undeterred, Miley relies on her training, her blocking. She was hitting the heavy bag this week, and it pays off. Storm and Norman goes down yet again. Storm and Norman is like Miley's bitch this game, and he's going to take a swipe at Miley, push her back, and the one-die block is going to be successful on the Frenzy, and he's also going to put a tail on the ball carrier, so maybe the Skaven aren't out of it yet. But that pass attempt, that could be a game changer. There goes the Double Skulls. Fortunately, extra training for the Rats this week. They managed to put Tassi back, and the Rats are putting defensive pressure on the Nurgle. However, I'd like to remind everybody that in the first half, the pressure was great, but it didn't, once the Nurgle started responding, it turned into a lot of casualties for the Rats. So, I mean, you saw textbook of, what kind of, a little earlier in that failed pass, what kind of effect a Nurgle team can have, how it can frustrate an offense. This Rat team was used to running those little, sweeping patterned passes where, that gutter runner, normally agile enough to catch it even in a little bit of traffic and then dodge out easily and go for the score. But not with a Nurgle team. You got those really ugly Chaos Warriors. They stink. They've got blood and entrails and pus and all kinds of other nasty stuff spilling out from their stomach. It's really a gross, disgusting sight to be around, even for Rats. And it was enough that it made catching that pass, even throwing that pass in that vicinity, kind of like a vile thing, that really distracting thing. And there's a follow-up foul on Knicker Sniffer, and the Nurgle team obviously disgusted even by that name, and they're going to act accordingly. And here comes the hit from number 10 on Tassi. The Skaven are not apparently worried that much about percentages and setting up the the optimum hit. They're just making sure that they're in full desperation mode right now. They know time is running out, and if the Nurgle stall out with this ball, it's going to be a real problem. Storm and Norman fails to take a swipe on a target right next to him. Norman not having a good game, and it could be one of the things that largely contributes to a Skaven loss, because this is what this is looking like. Number 10 is KO. This is another Rat off the pitch now, and now our kill box is looking 3 injuries and 1 knockout. The numbers advantage definitely favors the Nurgle. There comes a left hook by Patrick, just managing to push Fromage Discharge back, but the ball carrier's hit is what knocks him to the ground. The armor's going to break. Fromage Discharge is knocked out, is knocked down and stunned and wondering what the hell happened, and there goes his buddy Moist. Jans is going to knock him down. I'm sorry, the ball carrier was the one that made the second hit. And there goes Storm and Norman getting roughhoused again. This is just an embarrassing day for Norman. Definitely has met his match in terms of bashiness. And another foul. The Rotters they've got the numbers advantage, and they don't mind pressing it. There goes a foul, and apparently the Nurgle had a bribe. And that might actually be part of the stadium inducement, if I remember. No, I'm not sure. I'm not sure. But anyway, Nurgle had a bribe, and they just spent it. And if the Skaven have a bribe themselves, they haven't been using it. That's partly because the Nurgle aren't going down very often. Another stun there. And the Rats decide to jump back and get a little less aggressive. Maybe. I mean, it looks like they're just, hunting now for trying to take some of these targets off. Storm and Norman gets up, juggernauts his way through, but doesn't follow up on the frenzy. And they're gonna push Helga off of them, or no, I'm sorry, the other Nurgle Warrior off of them, and here comes number 8 getting floored with a nasty backhand. Number 8 is injured, and that kill box is starting to look like a club. Wait, that's the wrong kill box. It's over here. Yikes. Let's switch over, actually. Since the Nurgle have it on offense now, let's switch over to the offense on the Nurgle side. And in case you were getting distracted by all those little insignias with everybody's skills on them, I'll just switch over to the non-skill section of it. And you're going to have the Rotters move up. And yeah, this is a Nurgle case. This is going to be a tough deal here for the Rats to get to the ball carrier, especially with so little Rats still left on the pitch. However, if Storm and Norman can come through, and just as I say that, he is knocked out. Oh, this is nasty. If the Nurgle are smart, they're not even really going to try to take too many chances with this at this point. They're just going to focus on strengthening the cage and killing Rats. Sure, the SPP are nice for trotting into the end zone, but if that ball comes loose, all bets are off when Rats are on the field. So, are we going to see the desperation red die block? We are not. It looks like the Rats are holding back, and we're in turn 14. So if they've got some secret play, it's probably some desperation play. It's probably time to pull it out soon. And what a time! Miley has been pretty solid throughout the whole match. Finally decides to go really stupid, but it really doesn't matter as the Rats are really beat up. Sploosh getting knocked out. Here comes another Nurgle Warrior. That's Ulf, I guess, coming down on Ploop, and Ploop goes down, and the follow-up by Mehmet, the Rotter, on Netkit. Netkit, that dangerous Storm Vermin, not looking dangerous at all, and Jenny's going to run out into that wide zone to be support, and Jans is going to come with Jenny, and there's going to be a little side screen going on over there, but the thing is, Knickers can get to that ball. So, a dodge by Knickers, and if he frees up the ball with a red die block, anything can happen. And another foul, this time on Netkit. They stun Netkit, the Storm Vermin, but the Rotter attackee is sent off. At this point, with the number, with the differential, so great. Look at that kill box. This is what you would expect from Nurgle versus Skaven. Unfortunately, though, what you don't expect is a 0 score. And so it looks like Moist tried to jump in there, and I guess they were saving. They were going to make the tough, unlikely ball free up with Moist, grab it with Knickers Sniffer, and then try to throw it to Fromage for the touchdown. But again, with all the disturbing presence, even that throw becomes crazy. A little wide zone side screen over there, and Knickers is pushed back. At this point, it is looking almost impossible for the Rats to turn this around. And this has pretty much been a Skaven snuff film from start to finish. Nurgle have pushed their advantage, and here comes maybe the coup de grace, and booyakasha! There goes the nasty. He's dipping the shoulder by Patrick, and Fromage discharge is discharged from the game. And it's not enough. Oh, I thought it was going to be another Rotter foul. Rats full desperation mode. Why not? Well, I guess they do hold back. And the Nurgle say, you know what? Just to make a point, I'm going to beat you up one last time and trot into the end zone over your limp body. Nurgle win 2-0. This wasn't even close. Baltimore Blood, wow, made a statement here. This was not a close game. This was a drumming. This was a Phillip and Willis and Arnold drumming right here. 27 armor breaks to the 3. Only one explosion on the Baltimore Blood, even though the fouls were rampant. I don't know where the ref was looking. The bribes, the money was flowing, though. That is a 0% ball possession by the Skaven. For those of you that saw earlier, hey, wait, the Skaven did touch the ball. Yes, they touched the ball at the beginning of the second half, and they were relieved of that ball before the complete turn expired, so they didn't get any credit for ball possession. You must be the team holding the ball at the end of the turn to get credit for having possessed it in that turn. So 87% ball possession to Baltimore Blood. And the X1 team is 0%. Just wow. The Skaven, I've never seen a Skaven team be such a non-factor on offense. Completely neutralized by the Blood. 68 blocks to 23. 7 KOs, 5 injuries. The only thing that was missing was a kill. SPP racked up. And this was a quick one. This was kind of a pleasure, like a kind of little different thing to do. These matches are always great when they're live, but not having to wait for the coaches to make their decisions was pretty awesome, too. This is Serious Jest. I hope you enjoyed this. This has been round 1, season 2, Cabal Vision action. And actually, if you bear with me for a second, we will. I can show you. We can take a look at the schedule here. Sorry, just ignore these teams. I have too many damn teams. Blah, 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 blah. Okay, there we go. So we go and take a look at the Champion Cup. And you can see that the Baltimore, so all these other games got to get played. Hopefully these coaches, especially if you're watching this and you're a coach in this playoff league, get your games in. Let's not drag this first round out. If we're talking about more than a week, I really don't want to run the full week, and if you're thinking about running more than a week, you might get replaced. We got to get a move on with these playoffs. Season 3 regular season is already in effect, and I don't want this thing running too long. Nithios doesn't want this thing running too long. So that's where we're at. So the Baltimore Blood in this bracket will advance. They will play the winner. And again, if you're not aware, this is how it works, right? We can't seed tournament brackets, but once they're randomly created right now per the game, you can tell who plays who. So Swagger Squad, who won last night against the Bloodier Elves, will face the winner of Here for Another Beer versus the Geckos. And then the Baltimore Blood will face the winner of the Expended versus the Knights of the Round Table. So in this latter half of the bracket, we have 2 of the games played, and 2 of the teams have established themselves as of at least having like a 50% chance of ending up facing each other. I don't know if that percentage calculation is right, but anyway, you get the picture. All right, thanks for joining us, everybody. This has been Serious Jazz. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you in the next match.